Chicago what? Chicago what? Chicago. Hey yo, if you owe me money, what? I take it. Yo, it's the Lakeshore Drive, keep it live tight raw. You better hurry up, they can't keep it in the store. Computer format, your whole style in one beat.
I think very three-dimensionally. I don't think in the black and white lines that I've been programmed to think in.
Balenciaga has severed ties with Kanye West following his anti-Semitic remarks.
The fallout continues for Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, whose recent anti-Semitic comments have caused public outrage.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time. I have decided in 2020 to run for president.
Now, U.S. rapper Kanye West is making headlines again. This comes after he suggested that he will run for president. He even added that he wants former president, hear this, Donald Trump, to be his running mate.
He's a rapper, fashion designer, and controversial figure. Love him or hate him, you can't ignore him. This is Kanye West. Kanye West, legal name Ye, is an American producer, rapper, and fashion designer who parlayed his production success in the late 1990s and early 2000s into a career as a popular, critically acclaimed solo artist. Ye was born June 8, 1977 in Atlanta, Georgia. West, the child of a photographer and former Black Panther father and a college professor mother, grew up in Chicago and attended Chicago State University for 1 year before dropping out to pursue a career in music. Early on, he demonstrated his considerable abilities as a producer, contributing to Jermaine Dupri's album Life in 1472 in 1998 before relocating to the New York City area, where he made his name with his production work for Rockefeller Records, especially on rapper Jay-Z's album Blueprint in 2001. West's skillful use of accelerated sample-based beats soon made him much in demand as a producer, but he struggled to be allowed to make his own recordings, partly because of the perception that his middle-class background denied him any credibility as a rapper. When he finally released his debut solo album, The College Dropout, in 2004, it was massively successful. Sales soared, and critics gushed over its sonic sophistication and clever wordplay, which blended humor, faith, insight, and political awareness on songs such as Through the Wire,
I drink a goose for breakfast, an insure for dessert,
and the gospel choir-backed Jesus Walks.
God show me the way.
Kanye won a Grammy Award for Best Rap Song in 2005.
And the Grammy goes to The College Dropout, Kanye West.
If you had the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment. A lot of people don't appreciate their moment until it's past. Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
And he also picked up awards that year for Best Rhythm and Blues Song as one of the songwriters of Alicia Keys' You Don't Know My Name. Abetted by his flamboyant personality, West quickly rose to stardom. His second album, Late Registration in 2005, repeated the commercial success of his first, with a number of hit singles including Diamonds from Sierra Leone,
Throw your diamonds in the sky,
and Gold Digger.
Now I ain't saying she a gold digger.
And earned West 3 more Grammy Awards. As his career as a performer took off, West continued to work as a producer, with credits including songs by such high-profile artists such as Nas, Mariah Carey, and Beyonce. He also founded the record label Good Music. His third release, Graduation in 2007, produced the hit singles Good Life and Stronger
Can only make me stronger.
and garnered him 4 more Grammy Awards. In 2008, West released 808s and Heartbreak, an album that dwelled on feelings of personal loss and regret. Its sound differed radically from his previous releases, as West chose to sing rather than rap his lyrics.
It was one of the most cringeworthy moments in award show history.
So after the Taylor Swift incident, we'll call it that, at the VMAs, Mos Def came to you and said, get out of the country.
It's a pretty bugged out story. I literally left America. I stopped doing music altogether. I just took some time. I went to Japan just so I could get away from paparazzi altogether.
Music, so thank you so much for giving me a chance to win a VMA award.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
West spent much of late 2009 rehabilitating his image. He had rushed the stage at the MTV Video Music Awards, preempting Taylor Swift's acceptance speech for Best Female Video to declare that Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time. Video footage of the incident quickly went viral on the internet, and West found himself vilified in the media. A series of apologies, some of them appearing as a stream of consciousness narrative on West's Twitter feed soon followed. The brashness that caused him such trouble in 2009 fueled a triumphant return to music the following year with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, a monumentally complex exploration of the nature of success and celebrity, with potent rhymes that were in equal parts boastful and self-effacing, instrumentation that ranged from tribal drums to soaring orchestral accompaniment, and a list of guest performers that included Jay-Z, Rihanna, Kid Cudi, and Chris Rock. The album represented some of West's most ambitious work, and it was rewarded with a trio of Grammys. He followed it with Watch the Throne in 2011, a Billboard chart-topping collaboration with Jay-Z that featured the Grammy-winning singles Otis
I invented sweat.
and In Paris,
This is crazy.
and No Church in the Wild.
Tears on the mausoleum floor.
Tell me a little bit about the creative process where you design one of these.
It could start with a sketch, it could start with a vintage reference, it could start with a previous shoe that we created that we're making a newer version on.
In February of 2015, West, in conjunction with German apparel company Adidas, unveiled the first season or collection of his long-awaited fashion line Yeezy. Yeezy Season 1 featured men's and women's streetwear, including oversized sweaters, military and surplus-inspired jackets, sneakers, boots, and more. West's fashion work continued leading up to the release of his 8th studio album, The Life of Pablo, in 2016. In fact, he debuted tracks from the album at a showcase of Yeezy Season 3 at Madison Square Garden in New York. The gospel-tinged album further demonstrated West's inventiveness as a producer, but critics found it disjointed.
It's kind of late to the party. It's been done before. This is not Kanye's White Album. Sure, it's all kind of messy and you have tracks just crashing into each other, but some of them are not that great. The parts of this album that are mediocre, they're actually mediocre. They're not enhanced by the rest of the track list. The thing is that Kanye doesn't really string them that far out, so there's not a big investment on your part. As a result, they don't really get that annoying. And on top of these tracks, Kanye is just weird enough, just strange enough to keep it kind of intriguing and keep you ogling at it. Because, you know, we just want something to gawk at for a little while. Now, I will say there are highlights on this thing. Fuck My Life is great. Real Friends is great. No Parties in LA is great. Ultralight Beam is great. But there are just as many weak spots on this thing. The appeal of this record doesn't really rely in the music. I think most fans aren't dying to hear Ye make great music as much as they're dying to hear Ye in the raw. Get a real, authentic, just completely unadulterated, piece of yay.
In addition, the work itself was somewhat overshadowed by the unconventional circumstances of its release. After making an initial version of the album available online, West continued to tinker with it in the studio, calling it a living, breathing, changing creative expression. The tour supporting the album was abruptly canceled in 2016.
Performing only 3 songs, Kanye abruptly ended the show after only 30 minutes.
Get ready to have a field day, press. Get ready, because the show's over.
The Sacramento crowd were given refunds, and Kanye's rep tells us today that the 21 dates remaining on the St. Pablo tour have been canceled, without further explanation.
West's 5th fashion collection, Yeezy Season 5, was released at New York Fashion Week in February of 2017. West was uncharacteristically quiet for several months before provocatively re-emerging on social media in 2018. He notably defended a statement he had made in a televised interview suggesting that enslaved African Americans had cooperated in their enslavement.
Overnight, a firestorm sparked by Kanye West's words to TMZ about slavery.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison.
West facing immediate backlash from TMZ staffers.
What you're doing right now is actually the absence of thought. I'm appalled, and brother, I am unbelievably hurt by the fact that you have morphed into something, to me, that's not real.
And getting near unanimous outrage on social media. One person tweeting, "To say slavery was a choice isn't only deluded, it's insensitive, it's hateful, and it's demeaning." Last night, Kanye began walking back his comments online. "To make myself clear, of course, I know that slaves did not get shackled and put on a boat by free will." His slavery comments the latest in a string of controversial proclamations in his recent return to Twitter.
I just love Trump. That's my boy.
On TMZ, West reiterating his affection for Donald Trump.
Later that year, he released the chaotic and unsettling Ye, on which he declared that he was bipolar. Kids See Ghosts, a collaboration with rapper Kid Cudi, followed shortly thereafter. Like Ye, it focused on mental health, but to much better effect, intense and spooky. The album was widely viewed as a more interesting and rewarding than Kanye West's solo effort. His next release, Jesus is King, was a gospel album that reflected his recommitment to Christianity. It later won the Grammy for Best Contemporary Christian Music Album.
Grammy goes to Jesus is King, Kanye West.
During this time, West remained involved in fashion, and Yeezy Season 6 and Season 7 were released in 2018 and 2019, respectively, though neither was shown at New York Fashion Week. In July of 2020, less than 4 months before the election, West announced that he was running for president as a member of the birthday party.
And yes, as you probably could have guessed by this moment, I have decided in 2020 to run for president.
He did little campaigning, but he released a platform that notably called for reforming the police and legal system, reducing student debt, and having prayers in school. Republican President Donald Trump and his followers supported West's candidacy, believing that he could lure some voters away from the Democratic nominee, Joe Biden, in what was expected to be an incredibly close election. However, West ultimately garnered only 0.04% of the national vote, not enough to have any effect on the outcome. In 2021, his 10th studio album, Donda, was released, featuring collaborations with such artists as Jay-Z and The Weeknd. Later that year, Kanye West officially changed his name to Ye, and while no stranger to controversy, West faced particular backlash for objectionable behavior in 2022. During his Yeezy show at Paris Fashion Week in October, he and his models wore shirts emblazoned with White Lives Matter.
Another day, another Kanye West controversy. This time over shirts sporting the phrase, quote, White Lives Matter.
Well, Paris is the church of fashion.
On Monday, the rapper surprised fans at Yeezy's Paris Week fashion show by posing it up in the design with polarizing conservative commentator Candace Owens. The shocking shirts struck a nerve online, especially since it's quite the pivot from who the rapper used to be.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Shortly thereafter, West made a series of comments that were widely seen as anti-Semitic. Notably, he posted on Twitter that he was preparing to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Many interpreted the tweet as a reference to DEFCON, a US military readiness system. This and other comments resulted in Instagram and Twitter locking his accounts and removing content. West subsequently announced that he planned on acquiring Parler, a conservative social media platform. However, the proposed sale never materialized. During this time, a number of companies, including Adidas, ended their endorsement deals with West.
Kanye is the most kind, creative, mentally ill, wonderful, generous person you could imagine.
That's a great way to put it.
Politics kept me at the end of the mixtape, so I dropped my own Get Well Soon sick tape. The drug game, bulimic, it's hard to get weight. So niggas money is homo, it's hard to get straight. I'm trying to do numbers like Pac did, but it ain't Shakur, it's the brand new rock kid. Niggas wanna get me like they got big, cause I moved up out the city and got big. That's the poison that runs through their veins and attacks their soul and just start to tear them up.
Like, I am a god. Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was. A god. I just told you. That's who I think I am.
You ain't got the answers.
I'm asking you
You
a
ain't been
question.
doing the education.
Bro.
You ain't been doing the education.
Kanye, calm down.
You don't have the answers though.
Calm down.
Because you trying to give me advice about something. You ain't got the answer. You ain't spent $13 million of your own money trying to empower yourself.
Yes, but I spent hundreds of thousands and putting out clothing lines at a smaller degree. All I'm asking you,
and there ain't no Ralph.
Take a fucking another photo, man.
right,
Don't take another fucking photo, man.
I just got here, homie.
Don't take no photos.
Okay.
Stop it.
Brother,
all of you motherfuckers, stop it, man.
I just got here, brother. I just got here.
Leave the man alone, man.
Kanye, I just got here.
Leave the fucking man alone.
How's it going, Kanye?
Don't say anything to me, man. Like, stop asking me questions. You out in front of my house at 4 a.m. Talking about how's it going? It's not going good. Y'all here trying to take money out to make money off us. That's how it's going. It's 4 a.m. It's 4 a.m. and you ask me how it's going. You know I don't want you to say nothing to me. You hear what I'm saying? Respect that. I work with Madonna, and I went over her house and we were joking about the Touch the Sky video, and I told her I used Pamela Anderson because I grew up on her. She helped, make me a turn into a man. Looked like Madonna was getting a little jealous. And I was like, no, I used to jack off to you too.
I have not done any drugs. I've drinking a little bit, but even if I wasn't drinking, I would have told you the same thing. What do it take to be number one? You are in the presence of a champion. Bow in the presence of greatness, family. Understand what I'm saying? It's 960. The people came out. The people have chosen. People came out and bought the album. They love the album. I can't walk down the street. Yeah, we love the album. I say, man, I know it's great.